Uncle Brandon Karin to deliver the Welcome to Country. Please give him a round of applause.
I always try to get that round of applause before I do the welcome. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Brendan, and I'm here to welcome you to country. Welcome to country. This has copped a bit of a kicking over the last few years. I don't understand why. It took me a long time to come to a conclusion about the reason why. And what I've come to the conclusion is that two types of people that don't like it: the uneducated and the flat out racist. So I choose to educate about what a welcome to country is. And by the time I'm finished, if you still don't like it, then it makes it easier for me to know what box to put you in. And for those of you that still don't like it, I'm more than happy to have a cultural discussion with you in the park when I'm finished. I said cultural discussion. And I'm always glad to, when I say that joke to get a laugh. I was at an IT event a few weeks ago and they shit themselves when they said that. I was a bit worried actually. But a welcome to country, and I think people need to just understand when we live traditionally, it's not just a group of men, Aboriginal men, living out on country. We've got our wives, we've got our aunties, our nans, we've got our kids, our children. Why on earth would we let strangers come on our country? Why? Why do we do that? Traditionally, when you're welcomed on country, and we don't walk on each other's country unless we're welcome. We don't walk on each other's country unless we're welcome. There's a man, they found him over at Narrabeen. He's 20 to 30,000 years old. He's nicknamed the Narrabeen Man. 20 to 30,000 years old. This is the world's oldest homicide. He's a result of not being welcomed on the country. That's how serious it is, or it was. I'm not saying that's going to happen tonight. But when we welcomed each other on the country, and this is common sense, I need to know, where do you come from? What are you doing here? What do you want? And I'll show you what food's available on my country. Because you've never been there before. You don't know what's available. I'll show you where the food is. I'll show you what we call the poison country. The poison country is parts of the lands where you can't visit. The no-go zones. Where our sacred sites are. Where our sacred waters are that you can drink from and can't drink from. What our totem is, because we don't need our totems. We don't need our totems. That's why we lived here since before the beginning of time. We didn't wipe out any species whatsoever. And the most important thing of all is, where's the toilet? Do you not do this at home? Do you not do the same at home when you welcome strangers into your house? You all have an expectation when you welcome strangers into your house. You expect them to respect your property and everything in your house. You welcome strangers in, you show them where they can sit, where they can't sit, where the toilet is, and you all have your poison country in your house, your sacred sites, the no-go zones. You don't welcome strangers into your house, or some of you might. You don't welcome strangers into your house and show them where your bedroom is. It's a sacred site, no-go zone. Sometimes ceremony takes place in there, sometimes... And again, some of you might welcome strangers in and show them where your bedroom is. It's 2026. But this is what a welcome to country is. This is what it's all about. It's a ceremony about having respect for each other. One of the other problems I see with the Welcome to Country is because it's their culture. Them. We've become them. We've become them since the day one of colonisation. When have we ever been a part of the us? We've never had control over our own narrative. Never had control. Right down to the families we can live with. I was taken from my mother in 1971. I never met my mother. 7 aunties and uncles all taken. I've never met any of them. Why? Because of the colour of my skin. Somebody else was telling me who I could live with, who I can't live with. What's good for our health, what's not good for our health. Right down to how long we've been here for. 40 to 60,000 years. We've been here since before the beginning of time. Just because carbon dating can't prove we haven't been here any longer than 40 to 60,000 years doesn't mean we haven't. We talk about, our stories talk about the creation. The creation. It's the beginning. These stories are no different than any creation stories you'll read in a holy book. Creation. Except ours are a lot older. So it's always an honour for me to perform this custom of welcoming you to country. Tonight we're gathered on the lands of the Gadigal. Grass tree people. Gadi means grass tree. Gal means people. We still have our sites. Across the road and Hyde Park, ceremonial ground. If we think about it, what infrastructure was placed directly on top of what was already there? Our infrastructure. Hyde Park is a ceremonial ground. It's where they used to have what's called payback ceremony. The clans would get together and sort their differences out between each other, have little wars in Hyde Park. Conservatory music built directly on top of sacred Bora ground. Sacred Bora ground. I'll share with you the creation of Sydney Harbour. Sydney Harbour is in fact a flooded estuary. We've got carvings in the water. We were here before it became flooded. And our story that talks about the flooding of Sydney Harbour was the flooding was done by Burra, the long-finned eel. Burra raised the waters to punish the local people for not following their law. And then when he moved around on the top of the land, the waters followed him in. He created all the rivers and waterways that run off Sydney Harbour. When Burra finished, he finished at a place called Parramatta. Not Parramatta. Parramatta. Place of many eels. But I bet you didn't know that Burra swim down the rivers and waterways from Parramatta into Sydney Harbour, and they go all the way to Vanuatu, and they come back. Songline. We've known about this for thousands of years. This songline is alive and thriving. It's alive and thriving. It'll be here a long time after we're gone. Everyone's responsibility to look after them. Keep them alive. The Gadigal are one of 29 tribes that make up the Eora Nation. Those boundaries for the Eora. The ocean, the Hawkesbury, the Nepean and the Georges River. In between those three mighty and beautiful rivers there was 29 tribes that made up the Eora Nation. The name of the tribe we're gathered on here this evening is Gadigal. On behalf of those Gadigal ancestors, because as I said, I know their spirits are still in the lands and the waters. On behalf of Metropolitan Aboriginal Land Council, as the cultural authority on these lands, it gives me great honour to welcome you here this evening. Welcome to the lands and waters of the Gadigal. I'm just going to finish off by playing a welcome song on this instrument. Very quickly, a little bit of more education. This is not called a didgeridoo. Didgeridoo is not an Aboriginal word. This is what I'm saying. We don't have control of our own narrative. Didgeridoo is a white man's word. How it got its name was because of the song. That's why it's called didgeridoo. Wasn't he a very clever man? Then he saw these two things playing next. He says, oh, I know what they're called. They're called tapping sticks. Very clever man. The same man that named Manly, Manly, I like to say. You don't know how Manly got its name? Captain Phillip sailed through the heads. He pulled his telescope out. He looked across at what's now Manly Beach. He sung out to his offsider and he said, "I say, come hither." And his offsider hithered. And he pulled his telescope out and looked across. His offsider's comment was, "Oh, they're quite manly. Good looking at naked blackfellas on the beach." This is how Manly got its name. May not have happened the way I said it happened. But I dare anyone to prove me wrong. I don't care what app you've invented, you're not proving me wrong on that story. Yiraki. Yiraki means voice. So when we play, we sing through it while we play. We just don't blow it, make a noise. They're songs. So I'd just like to finish off by playing a welcome song on the Yiraki. And I'd also like to just make reference to the app, the West app. Did you know traditionally the knowledge that we had over country of where the waterholes were, where the food, follow the seasons were. When we travelled everywhere on country. Now you just got to get on the West. Got to get on the West. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you so much, Uncle Brendan, for that meaningful welcome to country and the Yidiki performance. It feels especially important to acknowledge the deep connection to the country with National Reconciliation Week beginning tomorrow. This moment carries even greater significance, reminding us that this is very important, respect and understanding. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, The West Journal at Lunch, here at the iconic New South Wales Parliament House. My name is Sharon Sultan and I'm very excited to be your host for this evening. Now, before we get started, could we please fill up the seats at the front? I can see a few people still standing. If you could just join us to the front, it would be very lovely. Maybe we can play a bit of music in the background to make it not so awkward. Got 2 more seats at the front. Great. Tonight is about curiosity, discovery and connection, and celebrating a new media that brings together a community of the best in travel, food, and culture. Let's be honest right now, I think a lot of us in this room have so many places or hidden gems around New South Wales that we have saved in our phones, and we still haven't even gotten to visit them. What makes the West Journal app even more exciting is that this new technology platform has been built right here in Australia, and amazingly in the vibrant Western Sydney, with a vision to redefine how people rediscover travel, food, culture, and community. If you look around in the room, it is so diverse. I mean, myself, I've got so many heritage in myself, but I'll say I'm South African Indian and a proud Australian as well. And already ahead of tonight's official launch, the response has been phenomenal. Over 1,500 businesses already are part of the West ecosystem, with more than 480 West ambassador content creators, and a growing community of people rediscovering what's right here on their own doorstep. Well, from a little birdie the other day told me his favorite quote is, "Because sometimes the grass isn't always greener on the other side." Sometimes right in Western Sydney. At its heart, West is fueled by curiosity and built for connection. Tonight, we're honored to be joined by an incredible group of leaders, partners, and change makers who are helping shape the visitor economy of this region and indeed the state. As you've made your way around the room as you walked in, you'd have seen the beautiful artwork celebrating the spirit and diversity of Western Sydney. A bit of housekeeping. Bathrooms are just located on the right-hand side through those doors, left-hand side. In case of an emergency, please follow the instructions of the lovely staff here. Phones on silent, please. And if you haven't already, please follow the West Journal on social media and share your highlights from tonight. And be sure to download the app, of course. And if you're struggling, just see any of the lovely team. And once you tag us on social media, please be sure to hashtag the West Journal, hashtag decision mode, hashtag what are you doing this weekend, and I like that one, hashtag I like a local, or hashtag Feel New South Wales. Now turn to the person next to you and ask them, what's your favorite hidden gem in New South Wales? All right. I think that's a good icebreaker for later. Okay, back to me now. Wow. I think tonight you can feel the spirit. Just by one simple question, everyone started talking, and I could hear people actually sharing their favorite hidden gem. And that's what tonight is all about, right? Connecting, sharing, and just going out there and celebrating and also supporting small businesses, because Western Sydney is vibrant, let's be real. It's filled with a lot of greatness. And I'm hoping that tonight some of you would have already gone through the app and just saved that location that you want to go to. We are honored to acknowledge the distinguished guest with us this evening in the presence of Nathan Haggerty, MP, Member for Leppington and Government Whip, together with members of Parliament, Consuls General, councillors, and esteemed communities. Joining this evening, we have Prue Carr, Deputy of New South Wales. We also have Anulak Chativong, MP, Minister for Trade and Investment. Jihad Dip, MP, Minister of Customer Service. Donna Davis, MP, State for Parramatta. Helen Dalton, MP, Independent Member of Murray. Michael Regan, MP, Member for Wakehurst, Parliament, New South Wales. Julia Finn, MP, Member of Granville, Parliament, New South Wales. Kevin John Anderson, MP, Member of Tamworth, Parliament of New South Wales. Tina Ayad, MP, Member for Holsworthy, Parliament of New South Wales. Karishma Kalyanda, MP, Member for Liverpool, Parliament of New South Wales. James G. Gasohi, Deputy CEO Multicultural New South Wales, representing the Horn, Stephen Camper, MP. His Excellency Mr. Darius de Gertis, Embassy of the Republic of Lithuania, and accompanied by Mrs. Nida Dekutiene. Regani Ramesh, Deputy Consulate General of Switzerland in Sydney. Jose Vasquez Rivas, Consul General, Consulate of El Salvador in New South Wales. Godfrey Santa, Councillor, North Sydney Council. Indu Balachandran Council, Ku-ring-gai Council. Agate Shible, Press Councillor, Embassy of France in Australia. Please give them a round of applause. We're very honoured to have you all here this evening. Thank you for joining us. On behalf of the West team, we would like to thank the West partners, Goliath Coffee, the Coliseum Theatre, West HQ, Spross Bros, NABA, FOMA, Gandhi Creations, IBCA, WATSA, and the Sydney Symphony Orchestra. We would like to thank David Borgia, Executive Director of Business Western Sydney, for his steadfast commitment and active support, as well as industry bodies such as the Western Sydney Tourism Task Force and the many chambers of commerce representing small business. Your presence this evening is a testament to power of collaboration in the vibrant, connected communities, and we are truly grateful for your support. I have to say that one thing that became incredibly clear during the RSVPs was just how emotionally people were so connected to places. From Liverpool to Jervis Bay, the Blue Mountains, Bondi, the Hunter, people didn't just list locations. They shared memories, identities, favorites, and places that made them feel connected. As we now move into the formal proceedings for this evening, it is my pleasure to invite to the stage our official host for tonight. Please join me in welcoming Nathan Haggerty, MP member for Leppington and Government Whip in the New South Wales Parliament. Round of applause, please. Thank you.
Who was cheering? Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Oh, she did come. I didn't know she'd make it on. Thank you. Firstly, can I thank Uncle Brendan for his welcome. It was, as he said, very knowledgeable. And can I acknowledge that we meet on the land of the Gadigal. I'm from, I guess Leppington is from the Cabrigal clan. So. And I pretty much lived on Cabrigal country my whole life, so Cartwright, Green Valley, Bonnyrigg, Cabramatta West, and now Leppington, so I don't get around much. But can I also acknowledge members of the diplomatic corps that are here today, and of course my colleagues, including member for Liverpool, member for Camden, member for Parramatta, and most importantly the Minister for Western Sydney, Prukar, the Deputy Premier. So. We have a good turnout. I think members will come and go, as is the way in Parliament. Things are very fluid, but they all have been reminded on multiple occasions that they should be coming to this event. It's very important. When I hear something, they need to be there. So, but no, thank you all for being here tonight, and of course a big thank you to the team at West Journal for bringing us all together. Plenty of familiar faces in the crowd, which is always good to see, and I think that's a testament to how important the West brand has become over the last few years since it was founded, and the fact that we're reaching this very important milestone with the app. I think one of the other reasons is that it tells the story of Western Sydney properly. We know that it's a multicultural area, it's a vibrant area, and at its surface we like to talk about the importance of food, but I think multiculturalism is much more important than that, and that's something that this app acknowledges. It uses food and restaurants and places to meet up and eat as an entryway, but it goes deeper than that. It talks about place, it talks about culture, and I think it's and that's why it's been so successful, and I think it's only going to get better with the launch of the app. I've got some stats here. Don't worry, that's the Legislative Council. We don't worry about them. I'm in the Legislative Assembly where we do real work. And we actually have a constituency. So, look, I've got some stats here, but I won't bore you with them. But I will say that Western Sydney is the third largest economy in the country. It is incredibly important both to the state and to the nation. And my seat of Leppington is pretty much in the centre of that growth. We got some stats today. I think I'm number one in terms of housing approvals. So not dwellings, but houses. I have the number one in the state for approval for housing. So it shows you just how quick the area is growing. But that applies right throughout the southwest and the northwest. I know Camden. Pretty much we're all experiencing an enormous amount of growth, but I think the catalyst around that is the airport. And in a month or two, the first planes will land that are going to take freight, and then a few months after that, we'll see passenger planes landing as well. And I think that's an incredibly important opportunity. We only build airports once in a half century. So I think this is the first airport we've built in half a century. And then of course there's Bradfield next door, which is the first city we've built in a century. So it's the first city we've built since Canberra. So incredible opportunity, and it acts as a catalyst for all the amazing stuff we know that Western Sydney does. So it's another great opportunity. And I want to commend the work of the Western Sydney Tourism Task Force. Where are you? Give me a wave. There you are, Zilla and the team. They're doing a lot of incredible work to bring all that together, especially the stuff around visitor economy and tourist attractions and hotels and all that really, really important stuff. So I want to thank them for the work that they're doing there. I did talk about Bradfield. I had some stats. I keep saying I'm not going to talk about stats, but I keep rattling off stats. But in terms of the airport, both the state and federal government have invested somewhere in the vicinity of $20 billion. And to date, private investment is up around $30 billion. So when people talk about, is the airport going to be a success? Is it going to be a white elephant? I think by that measure, you can already say it is a success. And as I said, I think this app is really, and this platform is really going to be something that people use. I know when I go abroad, I think of, is it called Burple? It's the one in Singapore. The app. So if you've ever been to Singapore, there's an app called Burple. If you don't know where to go, you download Burple and it tells you where to go. And I think West will be that example of people that are arriving at Western Sydney Airport in a couple of months. So look, I'll wind it up. I think I've rattled off enough stats, but tonight is really more. It's more than just about the launch of an app. It's actually about backing a region that I'm incredibly proud to represent. A region that I've lived in my entire life, went to school in. In fact, I think we have a couple of Bonnyrigg High School alumni in the crowd. Where are we? There we are, down there. So Clarissa, who's on the panel today, we went to the same school together. I met my wife at Bonnyrigg High School, and both of my kids are going to Bonnyrigg High School. So as I said, I don't get around very much, but I am incredibly proud to be here. And one of the things I did make a commitment to when I got elected was ensuring that Western Sydney voices and Western Sydney people know that this is the people's place, this is the people's house, and they are as welcome here as anybody else, and this is a perfect example of that. So Dean, congratulations, and to the rest of the West App team, congratulations, and let's hear more about this fantastic app and platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nathan, for those insightful remarks and for your continued support of initiatives that foster growth, collaboration and opportunity across New South Wales. We truly value your leadership and commitment to strengthening our communities. Ladies and gentlemen, to help understand why the West Journal app was developed, we invite you to turn your attention to the screens above for a short introduction to the West Journal app. This short video captures the spirit behind the West Journal app as a single platform built on the belief that every suburb has something worth celebrating, and while we live in a world of, oh, that's great, infinite information, we can now go beyond the scroll and create real discovery through authentic local stories, experiences, and recommendations. Please turn your attention to the screens.
But what if we could harness all of these strengths of our digital age and use them to grow stronger communities, real connections, and a more dynamic experience of life itself? West was conceived just for this. A platform that's social but not social media, that's informative but not just information, that's searchable but not a search engine. West guides you to harness the power of our modern era while getting you to look up from your phone and engage with the community around you. Born out of the idea that every suburb has something to celebrate, West is about sparking curiosity, enabling discovery and creating connection, and in doing so, living like a local. West brings together place-based discovery, local content, businesses and events all in one experience. And the West experience is set apart because of our authentic local content creators that we call West Ambassadors. Through the ability of sharing what's on and what's good, West doesn't just leave you at the point of wondering, it helps you create your own plan for exploration. Now stay on top of what's on, explore interactive maps, follow trusted West Ambassadors, save anything that sparks your interest, and then turn that into discoveries for your own personal itineraries to share with family and friends. A West is a mindset as much as anything else. It's built to be positive and highlight strengths. There's no ratings, no pylons, no negative commentary, just an emphasis on everything good that each community has to offer. Celebrating culture, embracing diversity, and showcasing the unique character of every place you go. The only question that remains is, what are you doing this weekend?
With West's simple but powerful idea, helping people discover where they live and inspire others to explore the places, events, businesses and communities right on their doorsteps. Tonight is a proud and significant milestone in the West Journey app, one that has been building for a number of years. To share the West Journey, I'm delighted to welcome Dean Boone, founder of the West Journey.
Well, hey. I'll try not to be emotional. It's a big moment for me. Good evening, everyone. I would sincerely like to thank you all personally for being here tonight. And I also wanted to extend a sincere thank you to Brendan for our welcome to country here on the eve of Reconciliation Week. For me, it's a time to reflect and honour the beauty of our First Nations culture, something that is very dear to me and to West. And also a very huge thank you and a heartfelt appreciation to the member for Leppington, Nathan Haggerty, for hosting us here tonight at New South Wales Parliament. It is genuinely an honour to stand here in this room, in this moment, sharing something that has literally been years in the making with you. Way more emotional than I expected. Sorry. Tonight is not simply the launch of an app. This is about putting Western Sydney at the centre of discovery and on the map. It's the beginning of a new way to explore and discover information built around curiosity, connection, community and culture. A platform born out of the mighty Western Sydney where I grew up, built first for New South Wales and designed to become something far, far bigger. And that matters. West is a global discovery platform. Built at its heart, it remains deeply local. Meaningful connection doesn't come from making the world feel smaller. It comes from helping people feel more connected to the places around them. And the creation of West was very intentional. For many years, I've watched the way we are all able to communicate change dramatically. We are more connected than ever before, yet increasingly disconnected from place, community, and culture. Information has become siloed and fragmented, and curiosity has started to disappear. Social media gave us speed, but it often comes at the cost of depth. And the world has become louder, but somehow narrower, and especially in the places outside of the traditional centres, our cities. And this is something I personally understood. Growing up and working in the outer suburbs and seeing this disconnect, the concept of West began more than 10 years ago with a very simple idea. How do we change the perception of the outer suburbs and the regional areas beyond? How do we celebrate the places that are culturally rich, economically significant, deeply diverse and rapidly evolving, but are often overlooked by mainstream narratives? Western Sydney is one of the most dynamic regions in our country. It's multilingual, multi-generational, entrepreneurial, creative, and our third largest economy. And now, more than ever, it's globally connected. It represents the future of Australia. Alongside this, there are extraordinary local communities that deserve to be found, seen, experienced, and celebrated, that are simply being missed. Discovery has become increasingly difficult. So I wanted to create something that was built on positivity, something structured differently, something designed around exploration instead of division. A platform that creates a space for discovery without negativity, that honours First Nations peoples, and a platform that celebrates diversity in all its forms. Now, when you spark curiosity, you enable discovery. And when you enable discovery, you create connection. Now, our little art exhibition here tonight, an idea I've had in my head for years, is simply to present imagery to you that hopefully sparks your own curiosity, that frames little moments of beauty in every suburb, and every Western Sydney LGA is represented here, as well as Central Coast and the Southern Highlands. I've now been building Quietly West for more than 8 years, and in the background creating the app for 8. The creation of West has only been possible in part because of the incredible people who have believed in this vision. And our foundation and brand partners are testimony to that, who have supported West and are here with us tonight. And my advisory board, Mark Taylor and Harvey Sanchez, both here tonight, have played an instrumental role throughout this journey. Building new technology is one thing. Building something with purpose is altogether another thing. Every decision came back to one simple idea. How do we make discovery feel human again? West brings together travel, food and culture into one intelligent, map-first experience. When I started this journey, I used to describe it as, what if Google, social media and Yellow Pages were to have a baby? And so instead of jumping between multiple platforms, West creates one seamless experience. West brings together discovery, itineraries, local content and maps into one connected experience that you can then share with your family and friends. Built around 3 pillars: travel, food and culture, the basis of every society. Travel is the sense of place, the destination, a journey. It creates a perspective. Food brings us all together, a basic human need, and enables the telling of stories. And culture is about identity. Without art and culture, what are we really? So curiosity sparks a plan, the plan becomes an experience, and the experience creates memories and allows communities to grow. Because discovery should not end with inspiration, but should also lead to action. And that is what West enables. West is certainly more than just a consumer experience platform. West creates a new media that helps business and governments and communities connect to people through real experiences. And one of the most important parts of this platform is the way it supports businesses. Because small business today is under enormous pressure. And many small businesses are expected to constantly market themselves across multiple platforms while also running their day-to-day operations. Now that takes time, it takes away energy many businesses simply do not have. Importantly, in West, there is no space for negative commentary, no negative ratings, pylons, or anonymous attacks. Businesses shouldn't have to waste time answering them. And that's been a very deliberate choice of mine, to stop negativity. For businesses from family-owned venues to major brands, West creates an authentic way to communicate, engage, and connect with audiences. And that drives business across New South Wales. For governments and councils, West helps activate visitor economies, connect communities, showcase places in real time, and supports both the inbound visitor economy and residents alike, driving visitation, encouraging local exploration, and supports small business in the process. Now, within West, there is one really important word: authenticity. Not manufactured influence, not artificial engagement, but real people sharing real experiences. West combines the trusted voice of our curated content with a growing network of content creators. And I think you heard before that we have about 480 content creators or West ambassadors with us now. These creators create genuinely celebrate and explore and share places they love in their own voice locally. And today our creator network already reaches millions of Australians. Now, people are craving genuine connection. They want trusted recommendations. And they want content that leads somewhere meaningful. West gives content creators something traditional social media does not. It gives them longevity. Every local recommendation they make becomes part of their own visibility. Every local story becomes a pathway for others for experience and connection, as well as themselves. And that's incredibly powerful. Real influencers creating real value. So the next time you're planning a night out, a weekend away, or even a holiday, West becomes the place where your inspiration can turn into action. You can discover where to go, what to do, what to eat, what to experience, and get local recommendations, and then plan it. You can save your ideas, build itineraries, share your plans with others, and explore communities in a more connected way. And whether you're discovering your own neighbourhood or travelling somewhere entirely new, West is designed to help you engage more deeply with that place. And perhaps most importantly, it encourages you, your friends, and your family to stay curious. West, as I've said, is about sparking curiosity and creating connection. It's about making discovery feel personal again. So the next time someone asks you, what are you doing this weekend? You won't need to endlessly scroll. You won't need to search across 10 different platforms. You'll already have the ideas, experiences, and recommendations and plans made for you, because it is all there in West and the decision is already made. I truly hope West inspires people to look at their communities differently and ultimately connect and experience and then share more. This is only just the beginning as we launch today and expand out across New South Wales, connecting to all of Australia. And as we do so, improving, innovating, and bringing new layers, new features, and new connections. West will grow and evolve, driven in part by the community itself. So thank you, and welcome to West.
DJ, keep going with the music. We're going to see Dean dance a little bit. We are celebrating. There we go. Incredible. Thank you so much, Dean, for that informative inspiring, filled with so much clarity and purpose, bringing the West vision to life. So thank you so much, and I'm sure everyone is very excited to start exploring the app. Before we move on to our next segment, the West team will also be available immediately afterwards for a personal demonstrations of the West Journal app to answer any questions during the networking session. We heard from Dean what West is about: community, an ecosystem that goes beyond the West Journal app. For our next segment in tonight's proceedings, it is a fireside chat with a panel from that community and ecosystem. I might just step aside so I make some room as they come up on stage as I introduce them. Joining Dean. Actually, Dean, could we get you back up here? Thank you.
Thank you.
Joining Dean, we welcome Harvey Sanchez, West Advisory Board member, representing brand and industry engagement. Mark Mariano, media and content creator. Clarissa Di Britantonio, founder and business partner for Lion Coffee. And it is moderated by Romina Bursman, General Manager, Parramatta Chamber of Commerce. Round of applause. As they join us here, this fire chat provides different perspectives on how the West Journal app is reimagining local discovery, storytelling and connection. Tonight's conversation explores how we reconnect people with place, culture, businesses and community through meaningful discovery to the benefit of all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the fireside chat. Dean, well done. Congratulations. Your passion is evident.
There's a lot of passion, yes.
And we love to see it. So congratulations. We're all here to support you. Okay, so I would call myself a Westie. No one said that yet?
No, that's good. That's very good.
Let me be the first to call myself a Westie. I grew up in Fairfield.
Yeah.
I went to school in Wakeley. I'm trying to remember the timeline as it kind of pops into my head. So I went to school in Wakeley. I went to university in Nepean. I built... Do you relate? Yes. Alumni? Western Sydney? Yeah. Okay. I built my career in Blacktown and Liverpool and Penrith. I spent most of my adult life in the inner west. And then and now I'm raising a family, and I live in Parramatta, and I'm raising 3 daughters there. So yes, I truly am a Westie, and I live and breathe Parramatta, but I have a complete appreciation for the West. So welcome to the panel. Before the West app, I don't really recall a place where business community and all of that kind of information storytelling came together. So I'll start with you, Clarissa. You're a brand and a small business owner, so you appreciate the landscape. So would you be able to share with the audience tonight, like, what the West app means to you and why it's valuable?
Yeah, of course. We all know small business owners are the entire org chart. So in our business, we are the CEO, CFO, marketing team, customer service, HR, all on any given day, sometimes before 10 a.m. So I think the challenge for Western Sydney businesses is trying to be discoverable, firstly. I mean, quality is not the issue, it's visibility. And something like the app, it does shine the light on small businesses and brands like ourselves, Goliath. It gives us the opportunity to be in the room where we're not otherwise. Often they're mainstream apps that are out there now, we'll say the other apps, the other platforms, they don't tend to look West. I think Dean and I have had this conversation before, and what I love about the West platform is that it's taking what we're going to call the latte line. It exists, Google it, and it's doing this. And as a small business in Western Sydney, and as a wholesaler and a brand that supplies to a lot of small businesses, a lot of mum and dad businesses in Western Sydney, I know Nathan's been a visitor at some of them. it's a really big deal to have this visibility, the spotlight on businesses like us, and in telling our stories and in an authentic way, in an honest way, in a way that we as businesses ourselves can be authentic. You know, even the ambassadors themselves knowing that there's no judgment. These people are of Western Sydney.
Yep.
They know what they're talking about. So you're looking to them to say, hey, here are the hidden gems, here are the hot spots. So for us as a business owner, as a brand, as someone who's supplying to other small businesses in the region, it's tick, tick, tick for us.
And I think that authenticity that you mentioned is through lived experience. So I think people appreciate when it's a trusted source of content.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Thank you very much. And people are time poor as well. So I think when you break that down,
time poor, budget. Any business right now, you talk to them. There is some increase somewhere. I'm not going to say where in this house, but lots of increases on every direction, and it's really tightening those budgets. So to spend that on marketing, to spend that on in ways to get your word out there. I think the app is just a really amazing space it's a platform that, the power of it's insane.
And lots of people on the tools as well. So West is known for its work ethic, and so I think that people, you mentioned positivity, so I think that was that positive content is it's a point of difference. Thank you very much, Clarissa. Mark, as a Western Sydney alumni, as a content creator, what is it about the West app that excites you and makes it so appealing?
Oh goodness, thank you for asking that incredible question, my fellow Westie. So, I feel like if you're a Westie, there comes this sense of postcode pride, this ownership of where you live and your locality. And for the longest time, we operated under a word-of-mouth system. I operated under a Bebo MSN Facebook system, and then that transitioned into social media and to what it is now. But what I'm finding, particularly as someone who works in that space, I'm finding it's getting a little bit harder to filter through content that feels genuine. And I think that comes with the nature of the growth of social media. People are monetizing their time and their skills, and they're using this platform to fund their lives, and absolutely. But I think it can sometimes feel a little distrustful seeing someone post a video and then they've got this really inauthentic voice, and it's like it's like the influencer voice that you go up and down and up and down.
You do that so well, by the way.
Thank you so much. I'm classically trained. Here are the best spots in Sydney. And it's formal training. Yes, it is. I think it's just what I really enjoy then about this app is that this naturally inbuilt no hater policy almost, and that's something that I try to involve in my personal social media. Just this understanding that there's a difference between hatred and criticism. There's this understanding of there's no point in piling on a business that doesn't help them in any way. So I really love this, that we are being informed and educated by people who have visited these spaces and these places with real love and it's with real curiosity. So also as a content creator, your content stays with this landmark in the app. It's not lost in an algorithm, it stays with it. So as a content creator, it's nice to know that there's a lot more longevity with the things that I create and post. In particular, there's a video that I posted for the West Journal called The 3 Best Coffees in Blacktown. So if you haven't already, check that out. I do my but more authentic content coming soon. Very obviously. Yeah.
How many coffees do you average?
4.
That's fantastic. I think that negativity piece again, that's what appeals as well. So for those that are parents or whatever, they're because your audience is quite wide. So I think that taking that into account is pretty cool. Harvey, as a board advisor and having been on the journey with Dean, how does the West app impact society in general?
Well, how many people heard 3 times, I think, today, that the western suburbs and greater western suburbs in New South Wales is the 3rd largest economy, 3rd largest economy in Australia. That is phenomenal growth from a business point of view. Who wouldn't want to have a business in Western Sydney. When you have that urban sprawl, when you have the amount of funding, not only from government but from just business around building out these communities, nothing is out there that connects not only those businesses but people like Mark and the ability to people to find new things. I mean, who wouldn't want to follow Mark, right? I mean, it's really is about taking advantage of that expansion, of that growth, and it also is, but it is really about connecting those communities together and building a digital community that becomes very, very personable and as well as very human. This is new media. This is not traditional media. And I want to emphasise that because I think it's important to differentiate that in new media we have the ability to really connect businesses with not only trusted influencers and trusted ambassadors, but also with their own communities and exploring. And more importantly, allowing the app to be treated as a destination for people that don't live in Western Sydney and want to explore beyond the boundaries of the eastern suburbs and the inner west and northern beaches, etc. It really is about going and exploring new things. I'm a Spanish immigrant that came to Australia in 1973 with my family, and we were sent to Cabramatta, and I went to Cabramatta, primary, and we grew up in Cabramatta, and one of the things that I've realised in the sort of 45 years that we've been here is the fact that it's just the growth and the opportunity and expansion. We couldn't find Spanish paella or chorizo or anything like that in Western Sydney at the time. So now you have this incredible place where you could go and not only connect with your community, but more importantly connect with those businesses. And as a business owner, I just think it's a no-brainer to be part of this, because it really is around getting those consumers to be super hyper targeted and hyper relevant in their search and in their engagement with those consumers. Those businesses will benefit tremendously from having consumers really believe and understand what this product can offer.
I just have a quick question. Where can we find good?
Do you want to swap?
Where can we find good paella and chorizo in Sydney?
Oh, there's wonderful places actually in Western City. You mean? Yeah, you're putting me on the spot there. I'm not exactly an influencer on that, but if you're welcome to come to my house, and I will make you the best paella you've ever seen. Than other.
You're done? Yes. I'm only kidding. The trusted source is important. That was what stood out for me, especially with the way people consume the new media. Also, I think the platform, you are showcasing talent from the West. So, embracing that hyper-local activity and lifting everybody up, that sense of community, I think it's fantastic. Thank you very much. Dean.
I've gathered myself together.
Oh, you're
My
great.
family's in the crowd, so I looked up and saw them.
That's beautiful.
If you want to do it.
Okay, we're gonna swap. Again, congratulations. Harvey talked about the community impact, which is quite a broad term. Can you break that down and possibly explain what that means to you?
Well, without crying, it's a really interesting thing. You've heard that we're talking a lot about Western Sydney, and that's certainly where it began. And I certainly think the shift in what the centre of Sydney is will shift to Western Sydney because
100%.
of the Western Sydney International Airport. But what we actually did was we built the app to discover all of New South Wales. And the more we research, the more we realise that this stigma and perception of places outside of the city centres is not isolated to Sydney. It's actually nationwide. We have some of our team here today, but I have a tech team that are actually based all over the world. And we discovered that the same issues within every community, that outside the city centres is where the most growth and activity is happening. It's where the most cultural diversity is. It houses places that people want to discover, that everyone has their own little hidden gem, but there's no way to share, connect and discover that.
So, as we've built the app, we've been testing it in London and Cairo and Vietnam, and it's actually the same story everywhere. How do we connect and discover? So the thing that I've really sort of discovered through the lens of the Western Sydney community is that this idea of where people live outside of the city centres has always been quite disconnected. And for me, I hope to affect and change someone who I will never meet, that actually discovers and does some amazing things through this lens of, wow, I didn't realise that existed because of the app and because of the content creators, West ambassadors that are actually authentic and proud of their local area that get to share it with someone else.
Yeah, and I mean, there's always been a stigma, like years gone by when I was growing up, there was always a stigma with Western Sydney. There was also a stigma with prosciutto, now people paying $180 a head for it, so I just had to throw that in. So things
we can have a whole conversation about this.
I'm happy you're sorry, well, I didn't know where you were. You know what I mean, so like, irrespective of what's on trend or otherwise, I think the transformation of West in general as a region is massive.
The other interesting thing that we discovered was, we began, like I said, in Western Sydney, but then we also realised that the city needs the outer suburbs, and there's a thirst to be able to connect to Rodriguez Brothers, which is the best place to get chorizo, which supplies a lot of restaurants and hotels in the city. Yeah. And they came to us and said, well, how do we connect? Lotus Dining Group in Darling Harbour, 82, I can quote lots of stats, but I won't. I've deliberately not done that tonight. But 82% of their clientele comes from Western Sydney. Wow. How do they connect and communicate to them when our channels are so limited now? We've just created a space for that, and we've organised that information so it's discoverable. And to give you an idea of the scale, it's 82% of all businesses in the world have a Google profile. They're in the app. It's every single business. You can look them up. It's phenomenal. We accidentally did it. I was telling Mark, and he went, oh, that's a bit of an oopsie moment. It's like, yeah, I wasn't planning to build it for the whole world, but it will actually work globally. It will get
stronger and stronger as well as the content evolves.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've created a discovery platform that brings people together, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
And you've nailed it, because it's travel, it's food, it's culture.
It's everything we need that makes your life worth living.
Love it. Okay, so
have I answered all my questions? I can't remember what the questions were.
You don't even know your questions. No, I'm just wondering if we go to some Q&A or... I can't see Sonia. Any questions from the floor?
I think that'd be great. Is there any questions that anyone would like to ask? Yep, we've got one in the back there, Roger. I can't see it.
Sorry, I'm not wearing my glasses either, so I need to...
Testing. All right, there we go. My name's Will. Just checking, when are you launching on Android?
We are imminently waiting. We were hoping, so it is available in the App Store right now in Apple. Google Play, I was hoping would be today. I was hoping it would be the day before. It's literally moments away, so I'm waiting for confirmation as we speak. I was hoping to say it's available, but as a safe guess, 5 or 6 days, I'd say we'll be there.
Not bad.
Over there.
Hi, this is Puneet. I think sort of a question I already asked you about this is free for people, for businesses it's a paid subscription. Can you elaborate a little bit more what businesses can come around with your platform and what sort of structure you'll be providing us?
Yeah, absolutely. Part of the intention for the West Journal, when we did our original research, was that advertising is quite often only accessible to larger companies with big budgets. We wanted to make the app accessible for smaller businesses. So the way the app works is you can subscribe. Every business is discoverable in the app. We didn't want to create a barrier for consumers. But for those businesses that become part of the app, they create a much higher visibility. They become visible within the app in terms of searchable pins. Their business profile can then also be seen with content creators. You can see what content creators are saying about that business. You can discover our content, and we can also help businesses to grow and develop. The second layer is then also we have advertising in the app, but I was very intentional about how we did that. I wanted it to feel like discovery. I remember sort of saying to someone, you're on a platform and you're looking for something, and suddenly you're over here looking to buy a car, and you think, well, I was looking for dinner tonight, I don't know how I got there, and I'm lost. We didn't want that to happen. So we wanted to create the ability for, and it was Harvey's sort of phrasing, which was, we want it to be hyper-local, hyper-relevant, and what was the third one? Hyper-local, hyper-relevant.
Hyperactive?
I can't remember the third one right now.
Hyper-impressive.
Yes, we'll go with that. So it becomes about these local ecosystems. And the ability for a small business in particular to flex and say, well, look, I've got something I want to promote that could be something as simple as a lunch special. You think about that as a promotion tool. No one wants to take out an ad and spend a ton of money on that. But in the app, if you can have a small amount that promotes that locally, you can create that discovery very local. Equally, we have council events, so we're going through a process with every single council in New South Wales. Will have their events live listed. If a council wants to promote a particular event, we're looking at the end of financial year, so that July we'll be able to then have the ability for the council to essentially tap on their own event in the back end, promote that event and publicise it where they want. So if they want to target another council area and attract people from that area. If they want to do New South Wales wide, they can do that. If they want to target 25 to 35-year-old females living in the Southern Highlands to come to Penrith, they can do that. It can be really, really specific. So we wanted it to be hyper-relevant, that was it. We wanted it to feel... essentially, I sat down and thought, well, what is it I would want as a small business? So we've created a structure that certainly enhances the businesses that are in there, that engages with their local community, but also kind of gives the power to the business to say, this is as much as I want, or this is as little as I want.
Dean, I think we had the conversation at the current, you're looking at the current amount, it's like literally the cost of $2, 2 coffees a week for a business. That's right, yeah. If you're thinking about spending, yeah.
Mark wants to know where the coffee is from.
Where is it from?
Obviously.
No, we certainly wanted to create accessibility. And an important part of the app was we have worked with councils and we've brought in all those events without a cost. There's a structure in the app to do that, but that's a really important piece for local communities to connect with.
One-stop shop.
That's the idea, is we don't want you to go off the app to have to look for somewhere else. It gets frustrating. You lose track of where you're going. We want you to be able to discover businesses, for us to be able to suggest and recommend places, whether it be from content creators, our West ambassadors, our content, or a business might be wanting to promote something. There's a way that it can be organic and natural and authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's excellent. Thank you for sharing. Any other questions?
I can talk underwater once I actually get going, so...
Hey guys. Hey Dean.
Oh, hey mate, how's it going? One of our West ambassadors.
Hey guys. One of the main questions I want to ask regarding about this is your inspiration or your push to really get you to do the app. Mainly for the questions like if there's anybody else aspiring to do an app of their own and maybe something similar or something different, something of their own, something they're prideful for or inspirational for. What was your go-to to make this happen?
We did a deep dive on the advisory board with Mark and with Harvey about this, like what drove it. But the reality is, I've worked in planning and design for 30 years. I've worked in media and marketing for, I think, 20. And there came a point where I saw the problem, and then I also saw the solution.
And I remember it was a good 10 years ago where I actually just went, if I'm going to do this, I need to do it really well, and I need to really commit to it wholeheartedly. So once you see the problem about the disconnect of information, how things are siloed, how we get our information now, the challenges of mainstream media versus the disconnect of social media influencers who reach a threshold and a limit. Once you see the problem, I perhaps full-heartedly decided to say, well, I'm going to do this. A little bit more complicated than I expected, but put my heart and soul into it.
I'll just make a point. Being in the journey with Dean on this, it's not an overnight decision. And Dean's been working on the West Journal and his media part of the publication part of the business for 6-8 years or something now. 8 years. So this is an evolution to that as well, because it's really around not only digitising and modernising and so forth, but it's actually seeing the opportunity to really do true engagement through a digital platform, but not just copying somebody else's. I think we are also, from a technology point of view, in this cusp of incredible innovation going on, particularly with AI and the way that people can use AI. And one of the things that I think it's been also bred into the technology philosophy here is to take advantage of all of those platforms and technologies that allow us to create those experiences as much deeply as possible, but also grab your content and place it in the hands of the right people, and have that content live on for a very, very long time, so that you can continue to monetize that from a content creator's point of view. So that's really, really key in that it's not just an overnight thing. It really is an evolution of a lot of hard work that's been done. Yeah.
And I think that media experience has kind of allowed you to assess what the user experience should be, and we're better for it.
Yeah.
Because you've kind of filtered out all that. So thank you, because I'm time poor. So
Yeah. You're welcome.
Personal shout out. Any other questions?
The one in the front.
Yeah.
Brendan Hill.
I don't even know if I need a mic.
Oh, love it.
I know what to say. First time caller, long time fan. If anyone wants to know a bit more about Dean's story, listen out on the podcast I had with him. It's really good. He opened up. My question is, in my business in particular, we're always talking about ecosystems and how they can kind of intertwine into each other. I actually just got back from Mudgee, for example. My wife likes shopping. It's cool. We went to a winery, a little bit tipsy, wanted to go shopping. Are we going to be integrating that type of experience too, where we can create a multi sort of experience within the app? Or is it only sort of food and...
No, it's definitely, like I said, travel, food, culture are kind of the three pillars of community. And with every business accessible in the app, the idea of discoverability comes firstly from food. So there is this crazy thing in the Australian culture where we mistrust a group of people. We call it a wave of migration, or it's these people, or it's that. And then we discover their food, and then we're like, oh, they're really nice people. But then we move on to the next group, and the next. And the reality is we are all people. So food is, I guess, our starting point. But certainly, and we've had a lot of interest from florists, from dentists, from lawyers, and the ability to create a platform where you can actually have online shopping, Airbnbs, book hotels. We are looking at that complete ecosystem, and certainly the app is really just the start of that. The bit that excites me though is the idea of this local artisan in Mudgee who doesn't have a platform to really advertise and promote. We create a platform, or one of my family members is here in the music industry, and we've talked at great length about the challenges of the music industry. We have amazing work around the nighttime and the visitor economy and the 24-hour economy. But how does a musician say, hey, I'm doing a tour of 20 pubs in rural New South Wales, and how do I promote that? It's really limited for them to be able to connect. We create the platform for the pub to promote the artist, for the artist to promote themselves, for the music industry to get behind them, in a way that's very accessible for small businesses. So there's so many exciting things that we're going to be building and bringing into it.
Just as a point, and part of my support to you is to try to keep him on track, because one of the things that you'll find is that when you put the umbrella of culture, for example, is so diverse. I mean, art and everything that comes underneath it. So it's really all around, say, let's nail these 2 or 3 things first, because if we can really nail them and people really engage, it will just scale and it will grow. And the community itself will do that. And I think that's where we need to make sure that it is spot on, while we're also thinking longer term about other things as well. Yeah.
Well, you have nailed it. So congratulations again. Let's bring it back to where we started. What are you doing this weekend? Yeah. Can we please thank Dean, Harvey, Clarissa and Mark. Thank you very much.
What are we doing this weekend? We're married.
Okay, all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Thank you so much to all the panelists. What such an engaging and insightful discussion. Before I hand over to Dean, remember to grab your goodie bag, because it's got so many cool things in here. And I'm pretty sure you saw even on your seats, you have the West at Lunch booklet. Yeah, so make sure you take that home. And as you're leaving as well, make sure you grab yourself your goodie bag, because it's got a lot of great stuff to take back home. As we come to the close of the photo moments and networking session this evening, I would like to take a moment to sincerely thank you all for being part of this exciting, phenomenal evening. Before we formally close tonight's event and continue with the remaining networking and photo opportunities, please join me in welcoming, of course, the person of the hour, Dean, founder of the West Journal. Please give him a round of applause as he does the closing.
All right, I think I've got myself together now. This was the bit I was worried about getting teary on, so here we go. Look, I hope you have enjoyed hearing about West. The creation of West has been filled with an enormous amount of planning, research and development that you've heard here tonight, to enable a new media form, something that is different and powerful. And it certainly wasn't simple to create, but the experience within the app is beautifully simple. And that's the value we wanted to create, and we'll keep building on. One of our brand taglines that I've used for years, and you've heard here tonight, what are you doing this weekend, is such a simple and often asked question, but has until now been so hard to answer. Now in West, just imagine what this can mean for your own discovery, for small businesses, for our visitor economy, for places you can now easily discover, visit locally, nationally, and ultimately internationally. West has developed a way that information can be delivered, and I've got the 3 here now, hyper-local, hyper-targeted, and hyper-relevant. The objective was not AI-generated generic automation, but accelerated local storytelling with human interaction and cultural nuances every step of the way. And I wanted to acknowledge that building and launching something meaningful is certainly not a one-person task. West exists because of the extraordinary people who believed in that vision and helped bring it to life. Many of them are friends. And I've already mentioned the extraordinary good fortune of working and developing real friendships with my advisory board, so thank you. Now to my family, that's the bit I was worried about. Thank you for believing in me throughout this journey. To the West team, thank you for your hard work, your resilience, often your patience, your creativity, and most of all, your absolute commitment to the cause. And to Sonia Gandhi and her team, thank you for your ongoing friendship and for making tonight possible. Now, our foundation and brand partners, thank you. They are already visible in the app, and we are privileged to share this journey with you and to have some incredible Western Sydney products and experiences in the gift bags just mentioned tonight. Now this includes from Clarissa and David, Goliath coffee samples and complimentary tickets to the Sydney Symphony Orchestra that are performing at the Coliseum Theatre later this year. I hope you enjoy, and I invite you all to use the app to discover and explore West. And finally, thank you to every single person in this room for believing and listening to this innovation that is built for purpose. This is only the beginning, so please be curious. I invite you to download the app and begin your own discovery. And once again, thank you. Welcome to West.
Thank you so much, Dean, for your West vision again and closing remarks. And to the West Journal for keeping everyone connected through this empowering platform. And thank you to each and every one of you, our leaders, our change makers and storytellers, for being part of the West Journal app launch. On behalf of the West team, we would like to thank the West partners, Goliath Coffee, the Coliseum Theatre, West HQ, Sprouse Boss, Naba, FOMA, Gandhi Creation, Wasabi, Aka, Watso, and Sydney Symphony Orchestra. Thank you for your presence, your time, and your support this evening. Your contribution made tonight truly meaningful. And to the team behind the West, they're just up there, looking all nice in their beautiful t-shirts. The West Journey app, congratulations on bringing the vision to life. What we have witnessed tonight is the result of passion, collaboration, and purpose. I think that deserves another round of applause. As we continue the flow of tonight's event, and before we move into our photo moments, we invite you once again to enjoy networking and the live demonstrations of the West Journal app for the West team. I think we've already seen them. They're just right over there. If you need any questions, just go head over there and ask them as many questions as you want for the demonstration. Tonight is about experiencing how the West Journal app will transform how you plan, discover, and share your travel, food, or culture experience in a hyper-local, hyper-focused, and hyper-relevant way, just like you said it before. Real-world connection, helping people discover places through trusted local voices and shared experiences that continue long after a single social disappears. What's your favorite hidden gem in Sydney and across New South Wales? Do you know your hidden gem? I've got plenty, but I don't have to share that right now. And hopefully, by the end of tonight, answering the question, what are you doing this weekend? This is the talk for the week, by the way. That's the question for the week. Becomes just a little easier. The decision has made for you. Please enjoy the food, drinks, and the West Journal app experience. And we encourage everyone to engage and make the most of the evening ahead. Almost there. Get into our media moments now. As the networking session commences, we invite our panel to make their way to the media wall, which is just over there as you walked in. We've got the West team standing over there. We'll get our official photo opportunity. May we also have Nathan Hannity, MP, Mark Taylor from the West Advisory Board to head over to the media wall. Representation from our partner organizations, including Goliath Coffee, the Coliseum Theatre, West HQ, Sprouse Bros, Naba, FOMA, Gandhi Creations, Wasabi, Arca, Watso, and Sydney Symphony Orchestra. And of course, the West Ambassadors we have here tonight. If we could please head over to the media wall for some curated photo opportunities, which I'm pretty sure you will all have the opportunity to take some photos. On behalf of Shimon, thank you so much for having me this evening. We will facilitate the photo session as you continue your networking. Thank you.